Okay, we're looking at 3B and D. Now, before we do the question, just before I start on the thing, let's just talk through it. There's a graph of G, and we know that F is the integral of G, starting from -8 to wherever you want to go. So here's the really important thing, because they have this on almost every exam. And I have no idea, it'll be on a 2-question test like yours, but a graph of a derivative. This is G, but it's also F prime. It's also F prime. Let's see. It turns out I don't know if we need that too much during the question, but what we're going to need to know is the area under that curve, right? So I found these 6 little regions. So there's the triangle there, and then to get that one, I did the quarter circle plus the rectangle, then triangle and triangle, and I found the area of each of those. Now, remember, 1 and 6 are below, so if you're integrating, normally from left to right, that's actually, that 1's got an area of 2, but you're going to count it as a -2, and the area of 6 is going to be 6, but it's -6. Now, we're not going to use all of these, but I just figured, okay, let's figure out what those all are. Okay, so the first integral that we want to do is from -8 to 0. So what we want is here, 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 and here. So we want that integral. Now keep in mind that this will count as a positive, but this will count as negative. So this 2 will be negative, and then I want the second, third, and fourth. So then I want, that 2 is positive, and then I want the 4 pi and the 8. Well, the 2 and the negative are going to cancel, so you can end up with 8 plus 4 pi, because this is then being 0, which is going to be important later on another question that we're not actually doing. Okay, so there's the first one. It's just literally the integral is the area. And remember, if you're integrating and the under Riemann sums, the rectangles are negative, you count that area as negative. So that first area, number 1, counts as a -2. So you're not going to get 12, you're going to get 8. Those 2's are going to actually cancel out. So just something to think about. The integral from -8 to -4 is actually 0, right? Okay, so now the D question. What if H is G over X plus 1? Now you have to remember how to do a quotient rule. So H prime is bottom times the derivative of the top. Whoa, minus, not plus, minus the top times the bottom over the bottom squared. Now we're doing this at 1. So 1 squared plus 1 is 2g prime minus 2g over 4. Now, what we have to do is we have to find g and g prime at 1. Okay, so if I go to 1 on my graph there, if I look at that graph, at 1 that's going to be 3. And then, because it starts at 6 and goes to 0 by the time I'm at 2. And then I also need the slope. So the slope, why do I want the slope? Because I want g prime, I want the derivative there. So g of 1 is 3, but g prime of 1 is actually -3. Okay, so when I put this in here, so I get what, -6 minus 6 over 4, -12 over 4, which is -3. Let me just check and make sure I got that answer correct. Yeah. Now keep in mind, you can leave your answer like that, of course, for free response. Okay. Any questions? Oh, you can't answer that. I'm done.